Hi everyone, I'm Chris Coyle, and as Tricia said, I'm the principal at Wukai Sha Kindergarten, which is one of 5 kindergartens in ESF. We've got 5 kindergartens, we have 9 primary schools and 5 secondary schools, and the schools all work very closely together. We're an all-through system, which means that the children transition from kindergarten into primary school and then from primary school into secondary school. We've got a, Max, you might want to forward the slides by maybe 2 slides, I think. That's me. Okay, so our vision in ESF is very simple. It's for every child to be the best that they can be. And this embodies our commitment as an organisation, whilst also keeping our focus on the children themselves. And it acknowledges the uniqueness of each of the children in our schools. Our mission is to inspire creativity and nurture global citizens and leaders of the future. So that's about preparing children for the challenges of tomorrow, whilst acknowledging that we don't necessarily know what that looks like. Trish?
Thanks, Chris. Max, if you could move to the next slide. This is just to set a little bit of our context. ESF offers a continuum of learning. So we are all international baccalaureate schools, IB schools, and part of that range from kindergarten into primary into secondary allows us to have a kindergarten to secondary curriculum, and also has a focus, as Chris said, on ensuring that our learning experiences for all of our students are in line with our ESF core competencies. And as you look at these core competencies here, I'm sure you'll notice a lot of alignment with the 6 Cs, as we did when we started this work together with this partnership with Deep Learning. Part of being an IB World School organisation allows us to also look at the 6 Cs, the ESF learning goals or the ESF competencies that are on the screen at the moment, and also the IB program skills. And so what part of our work has involved is actually finding alignment and I suppose calibrating those against each other to help us reach a common language and coherence with that. So we wanted to share this with you. We developed these learning goals actually at ESF quite a number of years ago, and the work fits very, very nicely with the 6 Cs and the Deep Learning Partnership. I think, Max, if you move to the next slide, what we wanted to highlight here is actually a message from our CEO, Belinda Greer, who you'll see shortly in the video. And one of the things that she says and reminds us of is that actually, if it's not happening in the classroom, then it's not happening. And it's a very strong message. It really brings about intentionality to our work. So we want to make sure that our experiences for our students, for every student, every day, in every lesson, in every class, in every school, is to the point of being enriched and deepened, so that we're able to really bring out the best in every child and allow every child to be the best that they can be. So one of the areas that we've been focusing on across our 22 schools recently has been this work around transition. So we wanted to look at the student experience and the family experience as students move from kindergarten into primary school and primary school into secondary school, and really put this lens over the transition work of deep learning. So we wanted to use the 4 learning design elements to see how it could enhance this experience for our students and our families. And really Chris and Chris's staff at the Wukai Sha International Kindergarten are leading the way on this. And so this is our story today. We are here to bring the cross-transition work together with the deep learning work and focus. And I'll pass back to Chris, who's going to provide a little bit of context on this before we head in and share the video with you.
Thanks, Trish. So just a little bit of context. We are going to show you a movie which highlights one of the several deep learning experiences that we've been involved in creating as a school. But first of all, our school is a really happy and joyful place. And of course it would be because it's a standalone kindergarten where we have around about 350 children aged between 3 and 5 years old. As I said before, most of the children move on to one of our ESF primary schools. We've been working with the MPDL tools and that's supported us in taking a much broader look at the design of our provision and has helped us to understand that supporting the development of student competencies goes way beyond responding to the isolated targets and outcomes of the curriculum. We found that it's been more about creating an experience for each child that enables them to actively participate and make meaningful connections within the experience itself. So our students transition from kindergarten to primary school at age 5. And of course, this is a very challenging time for them. In our planning, we wondered what would happen if we applied the learning design elements to the transition experience itself. We focused on the development of competencies such as character and collaboration, and we came up with some very interesting results, which you'll see now in the video.
Our world is defined by ever-increasing complexity and fast-paced change. Technology, it's true to say, is the game changer, with artificial intelligence redefining the value of knowledge. And that's a call to action. At ESF, we strive to provide a model of education that's relevant not just for today, but also for tomorrow. We're looking to do things differently. We're looking to constrict the prescribed what we do, and in doing so, to enlarge the freedom to innovate for teachers to truly be given the space and time to find new and better ways of doing things. Our strategy, quite simply, is one of alignment, agility and accountability. And that's a professional learning community and a culture of collegiality and accountability. Never has it been so important for teachers to be consciously competent in the classroom, given time and space to find the better ways of doing things for students. We believe in doing this, we will truly create conditions where our students will have an education worth having.
We introduced deep learning about 12 months ago as a way of taking a whole school approach to developing more meaningful learning and responding to the global competencies that transcend the boundaries of subject-based outcomes. We were inspired by a quote that deep learning should not be left to a few innovative teachers, and therefore we planned from the very beginning that all leaders, teachers and support staff would be involved in learning about new pedagogies. We were very deliberate in positioning deep learning as a set of tools and processes and a methodology that could underpin and bring coherence to our work across the whole school, in addition to strengthening and deepening learning for children. And as we've moved forward, the frameworks have been invaluable in supporting our work in lots of different ways. So by engaging teachers in reflection of their practice, by supporting our strategic improvement planning, and by influencing the design of learning for all of our children.
The deep learning framework became the driving force of all our transition work. Using the 4 design elements brought coherence to our framework, and we've been so much more comprehensive throughout the process. In the past, we focused on sharing data and information with our feeder primary schools, but this year we took a different approach. We looked at transition through the deep learning lens and applied the learning design elements to our planning. Once we did that, we quickly realized that we had to be much more intentional in some of the areas. Before we planned the transitional experiences for our students, we didn't really consider the element of leverage and digital. However, once we started using the learning design elements, technology actually became an accelerator of deep learning. We used a range of digital tools such as GoPros and iPads to support our students in reflecting on their experience on a deeper level, but also to continue exploring the virtual environment of their primary schools, anytime, anywhere, and with anybody. The Year 1 and kindergarten students were able to learn from each other and engage in authentic cooperative play and peer modeling. This experience required everyone to collaborate, leaders, teachers, students, and families, and led to structures and processes that empowered us to build strong partnerships, trust, a collective capacity across schools and communities.
The school has built a strong ethos around working in partnership with parents over many years. We believe that close partnership with families enhances the educational outcomes for children. The partnerships allow our family to have a more complete understanding of the curriculum and the pedagogy so they can support their child at home. The school also hosts a range of parent workshops over the year. These workshops increase parents' understanding of child development and provide practical suggestions about how to support their child at home. During the transition process, we arranged a workshop for parents together with the Vice Principal from one of the feeder primary schools. In this way, our parents had a chance to think about some of the ways to support their child's transition, but also they had an opportunity to build a relationship with a key person in the new school.
Transitioning from kindergarten to primary 1 was seamless, drama-free and also stress-free for the parents this year. Largely very much due to all the good work which the two schools have done in collaborating with each other. Olivia arrived at school on the first day not fearful at all. She was excited. She recognized the surroundings and she knew her class teacher well at that time. And on top of that, she was placed in a class with other students from the same kindergarten. And now every day she looks forward to going to school and having fun.
As part of our transition process, we sat down as a team and reviewed the experiences that we've previously been able to offer our children. We noticed that there was a gap in that the children were only able to visit their feeder schools but not actually experience learning in the classrooms. To fill that gap, we organised a Makers Ed event where the children were able to go into the classrooms and work with the teachers there. When we looked at Makers Ed through pedagogical practices, we realised it gave us the tools to strengthen the experience for the children. Approaching transition through the Makers Ed experience really helped the students to have an exciting, hands-on day and feel more comfortable with the primary school they were transitioning into.
We used an outdoor learning environment programme called Forest Schools to support those children who had maybe anxieties, concerns about moving to primary school, to help them really build strong partnerships with the other children that were going to their school or with their new Year 1 teachers. Using the outdoor learning environment in this relaxed way, it really helped those children build the confidence and build on excitement to move to their primary schools. When planning transition experiences for children with additional needs, we use the cues and prompts to focus on learning environments and learning partnerships and how we could plan experiences for the children that will build resilience, confidence and have a positive impact on their well-being.
We took part in the NPDL moderation process with our cluster schools and evaluated the transition experience against the rubrics of the learning design framework. This helped us to identify some areas we want to further develop. We felt that we were really strong in terms of our learning environments and partnerships, but wanted to accelerate pedagogical practices and leveraging digital. Some ideas included involving our students in designing the learning engagements for the transition day and using VR equipment as a way to explore the virtual environment.
Our involvement with the Deep Learning Network has helped us to look beyond learning as a series of lessons in the classroom and helped us to understand that the development of student competencies is about the whole student experience. We've begun to think differently at school now and have started to think about how the whole student experience can be curated and crafted in such a way that develops competencies and success for every child.